So let's just, doesn't look like anyone else is coming. So let's just settle into our meditation posture just as best you can. And here comes Phyllis. Welcome, Phyllis. And just kind of, sorry, stuck. My microphone worked out. As we settle, just kind of track what's going on in your mind and your heart. And are any sensations you're feeling in the body related to an emotion that you might be feeling? Can you connect them? And if that is the case, perhaps you can talk to yourself a little bit around that emotion and just see if there's a way to maybe comfort yourself the same way you might sort of help a child who's feeling a little bit, I don't know, sad or lost or something, you know. But you may be completely fine. You maybe just be getting ready for bed. Maybe you've had a great day. So however it is you're showing up this evening, just know it's totally fine. If your feet are down, flat on the floor, really try and feel the soles of the feet and those kind of toe pads on the floor. Really feel your connection to the earth through the feet. And check your sits bones so you're on top of them, shoulders are aligned with the hips, and you can have your hands just resting wherever is comfortable for you, and lengthen your spine. Head is very slightly tipped forward, eyes down, looking along the length of the nose. Tip of the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, and just relax the jaw. And bring your awareness to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, the jaw, and back of the head, back of the neck, the shoulders, throat, the belly, and all of your limbs. And just bring your mind to the breath, just noticing the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. Just the sensations. And you know, as you do this more frequently, the sensations that initially feel quite gross, like quite strong, when you first start doing maybe a 10-day meditation course, they have you doing this for hours, like 9 hours a day. And then after a while, the sensation gets more and more subtle as you get more and more subtle within yourself. Just notice if that's happening to you at all. And then notice if there are any sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. Try not to follow them with your mind. And then just notice again what thoughts are arising, and you can maybe label them. I am thinking, this is thinking. And then maybe you can categorize them even more, like, oh, that's a remembering thought. That's a story. Oh, that's a happy memory. This way we're just giving ourselves an opportunity to put some space in between those thoughts. And if you like, you can just pop those thoughts on this a beautiful little white fluffy lotus or a cloud or a helium balloon, and just let them float off into space. More thoughts will come. But you are taking control here. You're the one that's naming them, categorizing them, and then just letting them go. So we can imagine we're sitting on the bank of our river, watching that river flow on by. And while we're sitting on the bank, we're free from the river. So let's just remembering all those people of our life, the friends, the enemies, and the strangers. And just remembering that these relationships can change place, can happen at any time, the moment. In a moment, the karma can change, can shift. And then they're all equal, the same as us, in their wish to be happy and their wish to be free from suffering, and having this extraordinary capacity for this Buddha mind. So there is no negativity that cannot be purified. It's really good to remember that, to know that we do have the power to do something about the things that perhaps we've done that maybe we regret. And this purification process it's working on many levels. But really the level that we're working on, that we're focusing on here in this practice, is the mind, psychology. And we create negativity with our mind, so we can equally change that by creating positivity instead. So we start with the power of regret, sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you've done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech. And then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. We experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of future suffering that we will experience. So we know from our present suffering that we don't want it. So logically, it makes sense we would remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, okay, so what can I do about it, and whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. We rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing the Buddha to forgive us, we're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So you can imagine Vajrasattva is above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher, if you have a teacher, manifesting in this form for your benefit. He's made of this beautiful, radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. There's this beautiful, radiant face. His eyes are shaped like lotus petals, and they're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart. The left is underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. Right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents a union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, and the very beings we've harmed and those who have harmed us, by thinking about their having a wish for them to be free from suffering, having compassion for them. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, and think I must purify for their sake. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. We do this with visualization and mantra. Never know how to speak anymore. So Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar coming out of a hose quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutsa Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahom Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dinapatita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentiment with your body is now completely purified, and think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So next is the purification of speech. And again, Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, which overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. You can imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and useless speech and lying, talking badly about others behind their backs. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as you recite the mantra. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagawan sawa tata gata vajramami mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva ahom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dinapatita dida meboa sutokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta me boa sawa siddhi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dudu Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dudu Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabala Mahasamaya Satra A Hum Te. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others with your speech. And now is the purification of the mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you flick on the switch just dispels the light instantly. There's not even hardly a fraction of a second between you turning the light on, the light coming, you flicking that switch and the light illuminating the room. So it's the same here. The moment, the very second, the light from Vajrasattva's heart touches your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment, neediness, depression, violence, anger, bitterness, grudges, disappointments, hurt, all of this instantly dispelled by this mantra. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So again, rejoice, be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of the suffering that we experience and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified. And think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is a purification of just the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So you can imagine light and nectar coming again, fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anurakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam kuruhum ha 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 ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Now feel you're completely purified. It's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So next we come to the power of resolve, and the fourth and really crucial step in this process is, well, just rejoice in your efforts. Rejoice in the progress you're making. Even if it feels like you're getting worse, that's progress, that's change, that's recognizing what's going on. You're not actually getting worse. You're just getting to see what's there. And then think of something you'd like to work on. Of the multitude of things that are there, we have many habits, so just pick one. Don't try and do everything all at once. Try and think about what it would be like to be able to refrain from that thing. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with our mind, melts into white light and absorbs into us through our crowns. And think my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. So next, let's meditate a little bit on emptiness. In emptiness, there is no I, no creative negative karma. There's no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. In this way, we can look at all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can think perhaps the way things are appearing to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the positive energy and the merit we've created doing this purification practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. We might want to give a little bit of a shout out to Barbara, who's probably in the process of moving. So it's kind of a stressful and unsettling time. So I just have a bit of a thought for her. Hope she has a safe and successful and not too stressful move. Okay, let's do our dedication prayers, like our long life prayer for His Holiness. The wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Rinpoche's swift return, lamp of the Galen teachings, the supreme refuge Lama Zopa has departed in order to rouse the Dharma disciples who cling to permanence. Supreme Being, you took upon yourself the Kadam teacher's way of life and were bound to it night and day, greatly benefiting the teachers and transmigratory beings. Great Master of the teachings, supreme guide for East and West, hidden yogi, Lama Tupten Zopa. Unrivaled Lama Zopa, you took His Holiness, the sovereign Lord of the victorious ones, as your crown and followed all his instructions. Benefactor Lama Zopa, for the many public and personal needs of Tibetans and others, you opened the vase of resources and cleared away the suffering of hardship. One of great mind, Lama Zopa, you held helpless and voiceless animals with a mind of loving kindness and were their holy savior and protector. Siddha Lama Zopa, Lord of the ocean of mandalas, with the wings of emptiness and compassion, you crossed the waters of the generation and completion stages. Lama Tupten Zopa, great hidden yogi, ornament of the activities of the Gaiden teachings, in truth a great son of the victorious ones. Having thought of me and other transmigratory beings of the degenerate age, from your seat of lotus and sun, at the heart of Sangre Yeshi, may the jewel that fulfills all wishes, emanating again with the brilliance of 10,000 suns, smile swiftly and without obstacles to our eyes, filled with tears of faith. Okay. Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. Don't forget you share a beloved teacher leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everyone. Lots of love. Sleep well. Maybe some of you will come tomorrow morning. Otherwise, it's okay if you don't. It's just something I think Rinpoche asked the Sangha to do, is this 24-hour prayer-a-thon thing. So that's what we're all doing. Anyway, just let you know about it. Okay, bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for hosting, Alexis, and we'll see, if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll see you next week. Okay, bye, everyone. Thank you. Lots of love.